Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Soap Thing Thoughts, episode 7. Joining me today is Scott from Shaving with Peg Leg on YouTube. Welcome to the Soap Thing Project.
How's it going?
Great. How are you doing today?
Doing good, Ben. How's things in Turkey?
Oh, it's kind of quiet. We don't have a lot of flying missions, and I am we're recording this on Christmas Eve. It's going to be released well after Christmas, but I'm on a 5-day pass. Towards the end of the year, they kind of have everybody go into this lull for about 2 weeks, and then to celebrate the holidays, and then in January we kind of roll back into to the swing of things. So right now there's not a whole lot going on.
Good. At least you get a break for the holiday.
It is true. So I gotta give you a special thank you for coming on here at a moment's notice. We were supposed to have another guest who had to cancel at the last minute, which is perfectly fine. But Scott was able to drop what he was doing and come on here with basically zero notice. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Advantages of being retired.
So how did you get into this goofy thing where you shave in front of a camera? I'm curious.
Well, I was actually in rehab when I lost my right leg. And I was at the rehab center and I was just flipping through YouTube, bored, watching stuff on the computer. And a video came up for, I believe it is IMCDB. And then I started checking other shaving videos. And it seemed like every shaving video was about high-end, who could have the most expensive razor. I was like, what about the cheap guys like me? So I decided to start doing videos about less expensive razors instead of all the high-end ones, because that's all I kept seeing was high-end, over $150, $300, whatever. And it's like, no, not everybody's spending that. There's a lot of guys out there like me who watch what they spend and they're still looking for a good shave. And that's what I started when I started to do it.
Well, before we get into the main topic, let's touch on that just a little bit. So what have you learned about traditional wet shaving since you started that people who are on a budget would appreciate?
What they would appreciate is that you can actually find good shavers for under $30. They may not be some of the most expensive or best made stuff out there, like a lot of guys like to claim, but I think they would last a long time if you take care of your gear. I don't think you would have a problem with it, and they'll give you a good shave. I keep saying on my channel, find yourself a razor you like, find a blade you like, and even though I've stopped buying soaps now because I've got 8 years worth in my den, put your money into your soaps, get different scents, enjoy it that way, instead of buying all this high-end gear. And that's just the way I feel about it.
No, to an extent, I agree with you. For the longest time, even after I jumped down the rabbit hole and was really, really into this hobby, I was using mostly Razor Rocks, which are not super expensive, as far as
Right.
as far as like higher end razors go. They're on the lower end of things, $60, $70 a pop, which you can do a lot worse. And then they're good
Right.
razors.
Even if your one razor is $300, fine. But you don't really need a whole slew of them, if you know what I mean. You don't need 5 or 6 razors over $200. Find yourself your razor that you like with the blade you like, and enjoy the scents that are out there, the different variations of scent in the soaps. Put your money there.
Yeah. I've got more razors than I care to admit in my collection back in the States.
So do I now.
And it's gotten to where, like, when I get back to America, I'm dumping a bunch of razors onto the open market because I've gotten to where I really only shave with like 10 razors in my collection. The rest of them, I've decided they just don't need to be there. Like I'll keep the ones that have sentimental value, but I feel like people have a retail therapy problem. Let's just put it that way, where
Yeah, there
they
is.
have to have all the shiny things,
Yes.
and
And if
that
anything
just
new comes out, they've got to have it.
yep.
And
And
the
if you get the
artisans
money,
play on
that's
that.
your prerogative. But
Yeah, but artisans play on that also. They
okay,
know what we're like in this community. So let's come out with something new and we're going to sell it because they're going to want it because it's new and it's shiny.
yeah, and people got ADOS, attention deficit, oh
Exactly.
shiny.
Yeah.
So again, if you've got the disposable income for that, then by all means do that if it makes you happy. But
Right.
people who are getting into this and they are trying to fit in, you don't need to fit in. You need to be a good steward of your pocketbook. And if you can't swing that, then you shouldn't try. That's going to be far from the most controversial topic of the day, but that's how I feel about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what do we always say? You get into this because it's cheaper than cartridge razors. It is not cheaper than cartridge razors. I mean, it can be, but
It can be, but you got to be really disciplined.
yeah, but look at the money we spend every year on shaving gear. I mean, I'm sure your dentist full of stuff you've used, soaps especially, like you've used once, razors you've used once. We're all full of stuff we've used once. So
Yeah,
don't tell me it's cheaper than using a cartridge razor.
right.
It's a better shave, yes, but it's not cheaper in the long run.
No, no. The only way it's cheaper is if you find a razor and blade combination and a soap combination that is comfortable for you, and then you just stop,
Right.
which very few people do. Like once they get that itch, it's really hard to resist scratching that itch.
Oh yeah, once you're
Like
standing on the edge of the rabbit hole and looking down it, it's a half a step to fall into it. And everybody
yeah,
takes that half a step.
yeah, you're absolutely right. It comes down to like the first few years I was wet shaving. I would say I was actually saving money because I had very few soaps, very few razors and brushes, and I was using all the same blades. And then one day it just freaking exploded. Like it's
Yeah.
like, well, that was fun while it lasted, and now I'm down the rabbit hole. So
Yeah, you brought the backhoe out and you dug yourself an even deeper rabbit hole. I mean,
mhm.
everybody does it.
Well,
The
I didn't
hard
bring the
part,
backhoe out. I used dynamite.
the hard part is stopping that addiction
Oh yeah,
because it is an addiction.
yeah. It's hard. Like I've been trying not to buy any more soaps, but every once in a while, one of them will come out where it's just like, damn it, I can't live without it. And then I pick it
Yeah.
up. Like I'm doing a lot better than I was. I think I only pick up a new soap maybe every couple of months. I'd love to pick up none of them at all for like a year, but it's
Oh,
hard to not scratch that itch.
oh, I know what you mean. I'm my tobacco scents in my barber shops. Those are my two favorites. Every time a new one comes out, I want to get it, and I've actually had to slap my own hand from buying it because I've got so many tobaccos and so many barber shops. There can't be anything out there that I couldn't probably duplicate by mixing a little bit of this one and that one together and getting a similar scent or the same scent. You know what I mean? It's just it's a horrible addiction. They say quitting smoking stuff, it's not compared to this.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. It's tough. It really is. Well, we got a segue into the topic of the day. Let's talk about fake subscribers, fake viewers. Let's talk about fake news about it. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
So if you could please, you discovered something that is about some anomalies about subscribers on YouTube that is very off-putting, maybe a little alarming. Let's talk about that for a moment. Tell me what you found.
Well, I was watching this one guy and I kept noticing every week his subs were going up by 100, 200. I'm like, what the hell is this? I mean, I follow a lot of the big channels like everybody else does. And I noticed their subs going up too. After I noticed this guy, I really started paying attention. And I was like, what is going on here? And then I found I can't remember the name of the site now. I've got it in my favorites.
We'll go
Oh, I
ahead and
can't.
put it at the bottom of the screen if you can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, and I started searching the names, and I'm noticing that once a week they'd get 100 subs on the same day every week, or they'd get 10 subs every day of the week, or some of them were getting 100 subs 2 or 3 times a week. And it's like, what is this? That can't happen. I've looked at my analytics. It doesn't happen.
So basically, you discovered this website where you plug a YouTube channel in, and it will tell you on a day by day basis how many subscribers they gained or lost that day.
Yes. I think it's Social Blade is what the one is.
Okay.
I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, it's Social Blade.
Okay.
And they're known. I did research on them too. And they're the most recognized and supported channel in the YouTube community for tracking that. So they're considered the most accurate also.
So this is going to prove to be kind of a controversial topic,
Oh, it is.
but I think it's a meaningful conversation, a necessary conversation that I think needs to have because I went through and looked into that website as well, and basically what it is you can pay certain kind of shady companies to get a bunch of fake YouTube profiles or fake profiles to either subscribe to you or give you viewing hours, and it will artificially bump up your subscriber count or your viewership count with fake profiles. If it's as simple as you say it is, which it kind of looks that way, then it's not just wet shaving YouTube channels. It's
No, it's not.
everywhere.
It is everywhere.
It's Coca-Cola, Pizza Hut, Motor Trend, ESPN. Like everybody's doing it. It's everywhere. If it really
And
is that simple.
the reason is YouTube has become a business. It started off as a social platform for sharing your personal videos, but it has graduated and elevated into a business where people can make money off of YouTube, which makes billions anyways to make money themselves. And it blew up by 36% last year because of COVID.
36%.
YouTube channels increased by 36% last year alone during COVID because everybody was locked down at home. So how do I make money? I start a YouTube channel. Now I got to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 views to make money. What's the easiest way to get that? I'll buy the subscribers. I'll buy the views. And as soon as you hit that, you can be in business. You can have your channel up for one day, go and buy 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 views, and the next day you're making money off of YouTube.
Yeah,
And that's what happened.
When it comes to a lot of these YouTube channels, I'm leaning towards you're probably right. But I do have some things that I noticed, some counter arguments that I think are worthy of discussion. Like when it comes to, like, I looked up Jack Daniels YouTube channel, and what it looks like they're buying subscribers. But like, you mean to tell me that Jack Daniels is not getting a single real subscriber at any other time of the week? They're just getting 500 subscribers every Friday. Like that's a little like you would think, like, ESPN, Motor Trend, Coca-Cola, Pizza Hut, places like that would be getting real subscribers somewhere in that mix. Like it makes sense that a lot of wet shaving YouTube channels would at least have that itchy trigger finger to buy subscribers, because we're a very niche
Right.
community that you're going to cap out pretty quickly. You're going to get to where you're not
Well,
going to get new
exactly.
subscribers very
All
fast.
the big channels, the ones over like say 17,000 subs, they all do it because I frankly understand why. They've plateaued. How many people are really watching shaving channels on YouTube realistically and subscribing to those channels? Look at the guy that's got 80,000 plus and is gaining 600 a month, and he's gaining 100 every week, and every other week he's gaining 200.
On the same day.
Yeah, on the same day, every day. And the thing that really, when you look at that, you see 10, 10, 10, 10 every day of the week. It's like, really? 10 people subscribe to your channel every day of the week?
Yeah, not 11, not 13, not 7, not
Right,
21, 10.
right. 10,
Exactly 10.
10, 10 every day of the week. It's like, come on.
Yeah, something fishy's going on.
Right.
One other thing I will say, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I did have a couple people come to me and show me their own analytics off of their own YouTube channel, and it showed similar results, but not exactly the same. Like, for example, if the Social Blade said that they gained 100 subscribers that month, their analytics will show that they gained like 97 or something like that, and that it was a little more spread out. And so that kind of called the whole thing into question a little bit. But at the same time, like I looked up my analytics on there on my YouTube studio and then went to Social Blade, and it was exactly the same. So now I'm not sure what to think. It's kind of like
Yeah.
there's certain YouTube channels that you would want to believe they're not doing that, but then there's other signs where it's just like this smells fishy to me. Like there's a few YouTube channels who I admittedly still watch, and I enjoy their content, and I talk to them often, but they like quadrupled their subscriber count uh unnaturally fast at one point, where it was just like boom,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden their subscriber count is 4, 5, 6, even 10 times larger than it was 2 months ago. How the hell does that happen? that's
Well,
that's weird.
I know. I was watching a guy, his sub count was like 350. 2 weeks later, he's at 650. I said, how the hell do you gain 300 or 250 subscribers or 300 subscribers, excuse me, in 2 weeks? How does that happen? What's your secret? And then I found the site and I started looking them up, and I'm like, oh, that's how. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 every day of the week. 10, 10, 10. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And
With
then,
an occasional 20 thrown in there. But it's like,
right, I mean, you mean to tell me that you nailed the algorithm so perfectly such that everybody is running towards your channel and pounding that subscribe button like their hair is on fire? Give me
right.
a break. Give me a break. It's so ludicrous. Like, it's
The thing is,
this is
I understand why these guys are doing it. YouTube is now a business, and you're doing what you can to get your money. Hey, YouTube makes billions every year. Why not get your little dab of the money too?
right.
It's, and what are they going to give you when you get 1,000, 4,000? They're going to give you $15, $17 a month.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money. I
No,
mean,
it's not.
if you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, then you're making a decent amount of money. But if you just got like even 20,000 subscribers, you're not going to get that much money from YouTube.
No, look. All right, if you guys want to look at Social Blade, type in Mr. Beast. He had, the last I looked, he had over 151 million subscribers. buying 1 million subscribers twice a week. He's one of the biggest YouTube channels, and he claims, look, I've given away X amount of PlayStations. I've given away X amount of Xboxes. I gave my 100 millionth subscriber $1 million. I bought somebody in a private island. Really? Who did you buy a private island for? Who did you give $1 million to? One of your bought subscribers that doesn't really exist? So he makes himself sound great and generous. I've given away all these cars, but to who?
Yeah,
You're giving it
90% of
away.
your subscribers aren't even real.
Right. Exactly. And if you look at his analytics, there's never a 1 in there. There's never a 2 in there. It's 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. There's no, like, just let's say on a Thursday, he gets 1 million every Thursday. There's no Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Friday, Saturday, or Sunday where he gets 1 or 2. It's always just 1 million on Thursday, 1 million on Thursday, 1 million on. Who did you give this island to? Who'd you give the $1 million to? You didn't. There's nobody to give it to. They're all bought and paid for. All your subscribers are on your credit card.
Yeah. I mean, it honestly is a tough pill to swallow because I don't know, me personally, I would rather have, I'm up to 500 subscribers. I would rather have 500 subscribers who want to be here
That are real and breathing
than 5,000 who don't.
Right. Or 5,000 you paid for that don't really exist.
Yeah, and I mean, it's I don't know how I could live with myself because if I looked at, if I were buying a bunch of subscribers and I had like 20,000 and I knew I paid for most of them, I couldn't get past the fact that I was a phony. That would bother me.
And here's the problem. Most of these guys buying don't really, I mean, to me, they don't need to. Their content's good enough to actually draw people. I mean, if you had crappy content and you were buying, I could understand it. But they don't. They've got good content. And my subscription list has cut in half. I went through everybody I subscribed to, checked all their channels. If you were buying, you don't need my free subscription if you're buying them. So I cut you out. That's the way I looked at it. And
No,
my
I
list,
get it. That's your prerogative.
right. And there's a couple of guys I'll go check on every once in a while just to watch their content, not to check their numbers or anything. I'll go watch their content occasionally, but my list of video drops per day has reduced dramatically and made my life so much better because I really do try to sit down and watch everybody's video when they drop that day. I mean, sometimes you get behind, but eventually you get caught up. But I do try to watch everybody's video. Another advantage of being retired. But I just felt people needed to be aware of it was happening because I don't think a lot of people actually knew it was happening.
Right. Now, we need to put a disclaimer in here. What we're talking about is actually very illegal. And if YouTube wanted to stop you, you'd be in serious trouble. Now, it doesn't look like they really care, but we would still highly discourage you from even considering this. This is messy stuff, to put it lightly.
It's a real gray area with YouTube right now. If they want to pull you, they can. They'll just eliminate your channel. There won't be any questions about it. Your channel will just be gone. But
yeah,
if they want to let you ride, they will.
People are playing with fire, and you need to be careful. If you're doing it, stop doing it. So yeah, I mean, we gotta close this out here in a minute, but I do think you're probably right about a lot of them, but there's some other channels where it's just like, I'm not convinced yet. I think there's Social Blade has some holes in it. I'm not saying that totally discredits it, but you should definitely take this whole situation with a little bit of a grain of salt. Use your best judgment on how you want to react to this revelation.
Always make up your own mind.
Yeah.
Always make up your own mind, whether you want to believe it or not, or if you want to believe somebody's actually doing it or not. Don't go by what anybody else tells you. Make up your own mind.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's there's some of them where it's just like, yeah, I believe that. Not because I'm just looking at the data and I believe it at face value, but because there were other anomalies that I saw with my own eyes. Like I said, people gaining subscribers lightning fast, just out of
Yeah,
nowhere, like 5 times the subscribers they had yesterday, they now have today. It's just
exactly.
like there is no way you just nailed that algorithm so perfectly all of a sudden that people are just flying at that subscribe button. There's no freaking way that's taking place. That's outrageous.
And guys, let me tell you something. When Google bought YouTube, they changed the way the algorithms read. It's not based on subscribers anymore. The number one thing you want is views. Views will drive your channel more than subscribers will. According to Google, who now owns YouTube, that's how they changed the algorithm.
Yeah, that makes sense. So before we bring this to a close, I just want to make sure we reiterate that point. This is far from proven science, but I think there's enough evidence to suggest that it's happening in more places and more often than we would want.
Exactly.
So I think people should be vigilant about who they're subscribed to and who they're watching. If you don't care if they're buying subscribers, if you enjoy their content either way, then just keep plugging along. But
Just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
yeah, but if you are particularly concerned about trustworthiness, if that's a big deal to you, then this is a situation that you ought to at least file away for future reference and kind of keep it in the back of your head. Let's just leave it at that.
Yes.
So, Scott, do you have any parting words for the viewers before we get out of here?
Believe what you see, trust your own instincts, and get out of the rabbit hole. Save yourself.
Yeah, at
Seriously,
a certain
you'll be
point,
much better off.
yeah, at a certain point, no one to hit the stop button, no one to hit the brakes,
Yes.
because it can get out of control to the point where if it's affecting your pocketbook to the point where you can't you're having a hard time keeping the lights on, you're having a hard time feeding your family. If it gets that bad, you have a problem, and we want you to reach out to somebody
Right.
to figure out how to fix that problem, because that's
It could
not
be as bad.
healthy.
It could be as bad as a gambling addiction. It really can.
Yeah, definitely. You really need to be careful in this hobby because it's an addictive situation, especially if you're on YouTube. Oh
Mhm.
boy, there's this constant pressure
Show
to
something new
show
all the time.
show new things all the time. Exactly. So do be careful out there. We want you to enjoy shaving, but we also want you to be financially responsible.
Exactly.
Okay.
And be careful because the artisans know, they know this is an addiction for us and they play on it. I'm sorry to say it. You may not believe it, but they do play on it and they want your money because they're in business to make money, but you're in business to feed your family. So make sure you take care of that first because they will suck you dry. Look at how many soaps come out, how many razors come out, this, that, and the other coming out, and everybody's getting free samples of it to promote on YouTube, telling you, you need to buy this. It's the best ever. Well, you know what? Off camera, they may be saying, I got the worst shave in my damn life out of that thing, but I got it for free, so I got to promote it.
I think there are some artisans that have come out and said, I sincerely wish I were getting more new customers instead of feeding the same circular customer base. But at the end of the day, yes, these people are in this to make money, and and you need to sometimes you got to check your pocketbook at the door and ask yourself, do I really want to do this? There are days when I look at when I was back in the States, I would look at my massive collection and go, I can't believe I have all this. Like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? But here's the thing. A counter argument to that I think is necessary before we get out of here is that I am going to spend that money on something.
Right.
So before you go being ashamed of yourself for having so much shaving stuff, ask yourself, would I have spent this money on something else anyway? Like before I was collecting, wet shaving stuff, I was a big gun enthusiast, and I still am. I have like 20 something guns in my safe back in the States.
Hello, fellow addict.
Yeah.
We switched one addiction for the other.
Yeah. So I kind of laid one hobby to rest, sort of, and went into something else. But
we went into one that's a little cheaper per item,
but you're not spending any less money.
But we're not spending any less money. Exactly.
Right. So
been there, done that, still doing it.
Yeah, got the trophy.
Yep.
So all right, well, I think this is a good place to leave it. Let's do the frag out. What do you got?
I've got F by Ferragamo.
F Black. That's the all pepper and lavender, right?
Yeah, that's the F Mel scent.
Good stuff. Let's spray it on. I'm going to use the Tom Ford Beau de Jour that I got off base. This is a classy,
nice
fougere. I kind of wish somebody would make a soap out of this. I mean,
but you got it on base, so you got it at a better price than what we get it at.
No, I actually got it off base at a mall in Turkey.
Base. Oh, really?
I got it off base at a mall in Turkey, but I still paid less for it than I would have in the States. This stuff is, have you ever used Fine Platinum? Or not Fine Platinum, Fine American Blend?
No.
Okay. It smells a lot like that. So I think the reason nobody's made this in a shaving soap is because it's really close to Fine American Blend, which Tom Ford made Beau de Jour. Tom Ford also made Rive Gauche Pour Homme for Yves Saint Laurent, which smells remarkably like this. And so it's kind of a sister scent to the Rive Gauche Pour Homme Fine American Blend kind of scent, with a little bit less star anise in it. Let's put it that way. It's good stuff, though. Okay. And F Black is incredible stuff. I was able to snag one of those before they got discontinued back in the States. I got a bottle of it. It's a really good, it's got this creamy lavender pepper kind of.
And for the price, it's absolutely fantastic for the price.
Yeah, like Salvatore Ferragamo is a really good budget designer fragrance that
they are.
People shouldn't sleep on. It's good stuff.
It is.
Okay, well, Scott, I want to thank you for coming on here and sharing your thoughts. I will put Shaving with Peg Legs information down here as well as up there. So if you want to click on his channel and check him out, it'll be just an easy click away. Thanks for coming on such short notice. I really do appreciate it.
That's no problem,
This
man.
is Soap Thing telling you, shave like you mean it.
And thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good day, everybody.